हेलो एंड वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ द एसएनएस क्रिकेट डायरीज। आई होप आप सब ठीक होंगे और खैरियत से होंगे एंड टुडे on this episode I have once again a wonderful guest with me who has been on my show earlier as well, Noorish Khan. Thank you so much, Noorish, for being here.
No worries at all.
Okay, so
Always a pleasure to have chat with you.
great, great. No, the pleasure is all mine and of this channel to have you, Noresh, because a perspective from across the border is very important for a good, healthy discussion on cricket. So, for those of you who don't know, Noresh is an aspiring cricketer, and what I'll do is that I'll just in the video description I'll drop in a link of the earlier interview that I did with Noresh. So, usko please aap dekhega. Today's video is all going to be about Pakistan and the performance of Pakistan in the recently ongoing T20 World Cup, जिसका final अब कल होने वाला है between India and South Africa. So, Nourish,
Yeah.
सबसे पहले तो before I talk to you about Pakistan, what do you have to say about the two semi-finals that happened yesterday? Were you able to watch it?
Yes, I did watch it. In fact, I did watch it very enthusiastically because I was actually really, thrilled to know who's gonna make it to the final. In fact, both of the semi-finals were really good. So, and what I had to say, first of all, congratulations on making it to the finals. What
Mhm.
I have to say is India truly deserved it, the way they played throughout the tournament, because there have been matches, I mean, in all matches, I would say, apart from one or two, I would say most of the matches, we really have to commend Rohit Sharma's captaincy, the way he literally pulled India out of a situation where they were like, where we were almost confident that India would lose. But Rohit Sharma was like, no, my team is not going to lose. And we saw that intent in them. So they deserve to win. I mean, yesterday, the way they outclassed England, I mean, it was to a certain extent, you could say it was a revenge of the 2022 semi-final where England knocked India out. And this time, India knocked England out. So, yeah, I mean, it happens. But the way they totally outclassed England's batting side, Bumrah, he has been outclassed. He is just from another world, I'd say. So they
Mhm.
totally deserve. Both of the finalists, I'd say they're very deserving. And I'm actually really thrilled to see how it goes the final.
Absolutely, South Africa in their first final. But
Yeah.
नरेश, जो साउथ अफ्रीका अफगानिस्तान मैच है उसके बारे में मैं आपका ओपिनियन जानना चाहूंगा दैट द पिच has come under a lot of scrutiny, जो इतना movement and seam movement and bounce and Afghanistan only making 56. हाँ, maybe हो सकता है a better batting team would have probably scored a lot more, but even then, do you think that that pitch was worthy of a semi-final?
Uh, I mean, we could say no, but then again, you see, we have seen pitches like New York hosting big matches like India versus Pakistan. So we
Hmm.
can't really, put all the blame towards the pitch. However, one thing that I would like to point out here, which I was actually shocked when I found out, was the decision of winning the toss and choosing to bat by Afghanistan, which I think was not such a good decision. I think people say that Afghanistan's batting is the reason that they couldn't win the match, but I say the primary reason that I mean, the toss went into their favor and everything was like winning the toss is itself a huge benefit for you, especially if you're going for a semi-final, right? So if Rashid Khan had won the toss, he could have chosen to bowl first, and that would have actually complemented Afghanistan's bowling better because we all know they're world class spinners, they're world class bowlers. So yeah, that could have actually turned the tables in favor of Afghanistan.
Great. Yeah, I think a point well made. So now, Nuresh, coming back to the main topic of our video, Pakistan's performance, very disappointing. तो आपका सबसे पहला आपका take क्या होगा? What is your first impression about the Pakistan's performance this year?
I would say that it was we came into the tournament as corner tigers, and I mean even before the tournament we had series with Ireland and England, and we didn't really perform to the mark in that, but we still had that hope in us, as Pakistani fans, we still had that hope in us that our team is capable of turning the tables around. We have seen how Pakistan has turned out in the previous year, especially after 2021 The way they have played, the way they have, just turned the odds into their favor all of a sudden. So we were like really hoping, that we'd enter into the World Cup with something, something really good, uh, something really, impressive and stuff. But unfortunately, I'd say Pakistan's journey in the World Cup was nothing more than a series of bottling up and uh, very disappointing. I mean, it was disappointing to say the least, because it's not just it's not the loss. It's a game. Winning and losing is a part of the game. But the way, like all the matches that we lost, they were in our favor. We could have easily won them. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
if we go by firstly, जो आपने कहा सीरीज वर्ल्ड कप से पहले जो सीरीज थी उसमें if I look at it, the start of the year we went to I mean Pakistan went to New Zealand under a different captain. They lost, I think they lost 5-0 if I'm not wrong. Uske baad then this whole captaincy drama happened with
Yeah,
the management. So
yeah.
what do you have to say about the change in captaincy firstly? Do you think that Shaheen Shah Afridi should have been removed and Babar Azam should have been made captain, or was it a wrong decision?
See, all I'd say on this point is, I think if the board had taken the decision to remove Babar Azam, they shouldn't have reversed it. See,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're taking a decision, first of all, the decision to remove Babar just before a World Cup, a mega event, wasn't a wise one, in my opinion. And if you had to remove Babar Azam and, substitute him with Shaheen Afridi, then there was no need to remove Shaheen and substitute Babar. Either like you could have just stuck with one decision. So that was one thing that was, that created a bit of, we could say, lack of confidence in the team. That I felt that, because I think this whole captaincy fiasco really affected the team, and it was evident. I mean, we lost a series that we could have easily won. We lost a match against Ireland that wasn't we weren't supposed to lose before the World Cup. So yeah, it has affected Pakistan.
तो आपको लगता है नोरिश दैट कैप्टनसी का जो चेंज हुआ है उससे टीम में कुछ देयर वाज सम different groups that were created in the team? Or do you think that unity थोड़ी सी उसमें unity में एक impact आया था?
See, it's just, if I were to comment on anything, then it could just be assumptions and speculations, and we never know anything for sure. So
Mhm.
all I'd say for now is, I just think that what I felt from witnessing Pakistan's performance during the World Cup, even before that, they were over pressurized. I mean, they took that pressure within themselves, and they were really playing under pressure. So this is one thing that affected the team, and all the boys were under pressure. It wasn't, and then obviously, extra pressure was on Babar Azam, because he was also the captain, and he also had this, uh, had this pressure shouldered upon him that he has to perform, because he's like the currently the best batter that Pakistan has. So yeah, and apart from that, the captaincy pressure, and I kind of believe that, more than thinking about groupings and stuff, I kind of believe that every player of ours was felt very overwhelmed and under pressure going into the tournament. This is one thing that I feel. It
Okay.
can be the cause, it may not be the cause, but to say something for sure would just, be assumptions and speculation. We never know for sure what's going on behind the camera. So
Yeah, that's true. Now looking at the lead up to the World Cup, आपने कहा जैसे पाकिस्तान ने एक three match series खेला था against Ireland and they lost the first one. They played well to win the next two, but then do you think उधर से कुछ signs आ गए थे आपको that we might not be having the team for a good performance at the World Cup, because losing to Ireland was something that was sort of unexpected.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Uh, Before the World Cup, like I just mentioned, even before the World Cup, the series that happened, they were not in our favor. Obviously, it was disappointing as a fan to witness our team losing to a team such as Ireland. I mean,
Mm.
no offense, but you know, uh, a team like Pakistan losing to Ireland. So it wasn't something, that was very fascinating. However, we as fans, there's one more thing that I'd like to point out. There were some things that I as a fan or as an analyst felt that there should have been they should have been given more attention, which was the selection of the team. I
Mhm.
kind of believe that. players like Mohammad Haris, Abdullah Shafiq, and Saud Shakil, uh, and players like Mohammad Wasim Jr. And most importantly, Zaman Khan. If you remember Asia Cup last year against Sri Lanka, he was because last year Pakistan's more half of Pakistan's team was injured due to
Mm,
unforeseen circumstances. So they had to substitute Zaman Khan at the very
mm,
11th hour, and we all saw how well he performed in his international debut against Sri Lanka. I mean, had it not been for
mm.
that when uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Pakistan would not
Outside edge
match
लगा
with
था.
Australia. So I
Yeah.
kind of believe that in bowling lineup, our pace attack was good. We actually had really good pacers this World Cup.
Mm.
But we could have included Zaman Khan. We could have included people like Abdullah Shafiq. We could have included Saud Shakir, Mohammad Haris. So I think some of these decisions were kind of shocking for us as well because we were expecting uh, these players to be included in the team. I mean, most of the fans were. But again, mm, the board knows better. We're just saying something that, as per our knowledge and stuff, the board knows better. But I kind of believe that they should have. So I think these are the aspects that actually affected Pakistan's performance in the World Cup because they were not included in series against Ireland and England. These players, we were expecting that they might be included in the T20 World Cup squad. Although more or less we did expect the team to be the same team that played for England and Ireland series, the same team to go for World Cup, but uh, Loki, I was expecting to, just uh, to for some changes to be implemented in the team for going into the World Cup.
I think yeah, मैं सिलेक्शन के बारे में आने वाला था बट आपने you started that topic so that was nice. बट ये जो सिलेक्शन में नोरेश जो हमने देखा है मोहम्मद आमिर और इमाद वसीम को out of nowhere, and I want you to touch upon this that ये जो management जो PCB का leadership and management that keeps changing every now and then, और ये change जो हुआ था management में ज़ाका अशरफ से जब आई थिंक मोहसिन नकवी साहब आए उसके बाद ये दोनों प्लेयर्स जो हैं मोहम्मद आमिर और इमाद वसीम को लाया गया. Do you think that was the correct decision to bring two players who have long, I think, given up on Pakistan cricket? And Mohammad Amir का वैसे ही बहुत controversies रहे हैं, and when he was not in the side, he was criticizing a lot of players and management. So, I mean, firstly, इन दोनों को लाना was it the right decision? And also, what do you have to say about the constant chopping and changing in terms of the PCB management that just doesn't allow any consistency to be in the administration? What do you have to say about these things?
Um, what I'd say first of all, I'd like to talk about the Amir and Imad thingy.
Mm-hmm.
See, Imad Wasim, as far as I'm concerned, Imad Wasim was performing really well in domestic. I mean, if you have seen the last season of PSL,
Mm-hmm.
we saw how well he performed when it came to Islamabad United, and he was like very good with the bat, very good with the ball. So I don't think it was a wrong decision to bring them in. I think they deserved a spot in the team. And about them sitting on TV and saying against each other, see, that is something that we can't control. I mean, we can't control someone else's thoughts. We can't force someone to say what we want. तो
Mm-hmm.
अब अगर आमिर ने टीवी पे बैठ के सब कहा तो अब see that is just what he thinks. But I kind of believe, but this gives us a lesson. Okay, no matter the circumstances, no matter what, we should always be careful about what we're like saying, especially when we're on TV or especially when we're on public platforms, because we never know that what you know life holds for us ahead, right? So
Mm-hmm.
अब बात सारी ये है कि आमिर को आई थिंक लाना बुरा डिसीजन नहीं था बिकॉज वी हैव सीन कि उसने वर्ल्ड कप में कितना अच्छा परफॉर्म किया था वी हैव सीन हाउ वेल ही हैज परफॉर्med in the world cup and he delivered for Pakistan. In fact, I do think that after the 2017 Champions Trophy, uh, he wasn't really given the chance that he wanted. But again, then I think he should have, which he actually did, domestic and franchise cricket. He should have focused on that, which he did. Matlab, he played CPL, Caribbean Premier League and stuff. So I don't think it was a bad decision to bring him in the team, but I just think that uh, the statements और उस सब से थोड़ा फर्क तो पड़ता है, आप जिन जिन प्लेयर्स के बारे में बैठ के टीवी पे बात करो, कुछ ही टाइम बाद आप जाके उनके साथ टीम में खेल रहे हो, so it
Hmm.
does create a difference, so you have to be careful about what you say on the team. And it's better to just sit here and say and give your opinions about something that we're not witnessing. However, we do not know the circumstances that our players are going through in terms of playing on the field. So
Okay.
uh, I think, and also Amir and Imad before this whole after PSL, in fact, they both took their retirements back and they announced that they're ready for they're ready. They want to play for Pakistan, represent Pakistan once again, so they're available. And both Amir and Imad they took their retirement back. So I think the board knew something, and so I think कि इमाद और आमिर की inclusion was not a bad decision. क्योंकि देखें हम in terms of परफॉर्मेंस देखेंगे ना, हमें तो वो चीज देखनी है कि कौन टीम के लिए परफॉर्म कर रहा है. सो रिगार्डलेस ऑफ उनके अपने पर्सनल बिलीव्स क्या है बट वी जस्ट नीड टू सी व्हाट दे आर ब्रिंगिंग अप टू द टेबल फॉर द टीम. एंड आई थिंक आमिर डिड अ ग्रेट जॉब इन दैट. आई वुड से इमाद डिड अ ग्रेट जॉब विद द बॉल इन द वर्ल्ड कप. मतलब उसकी बॉलिंग वाज वेरी excellent, but I wouldn't be so sure about his batting in the World Cup. But again, he is we selected him primarily as a bowler. So
Hmm.
and has been great in the World Cup. And also the second point that you raised about the chairmanship, yes, this is something that I believe consistent. There needs to be consistency with respect to who is leading the Pakistan Cricket Board. I
Hmm.
mean, we have seen when Ramiz Raja was a chairman, the steps that he took for Pakistan cricket, the steps that he took at a grassroots level for Pakistan cricket. So those were something that really benefited Pakistan. We saw the rise of Pakistan cricket in those years when he was the chairman.
Hmm.
After that, we have seen a consistent. We have seen that there has been a lot of inconsistency with respect to the chairmanship. So this is something that has definitely affected Pakistan cricket at so many levels. Because when you're not having a consistent chairman, obviously एक बंदे की थिंकिंग कुछ और होती है, वो कुछ और सोच रहा होता है, फिर आप उसके बाद दूसरे बंदे को, जैसे जका अशरफ had
Hmm.
a different vision in mind. Maybe Najam Sethi might have a different vision in mind. Now Mohsin Naqvi has a different vision altogether in mind. So it does affect the team at grassroots level uh, and at levels that we can't even imagine. Also to sum it all up, I would say that whatever happens, this is just something that I believe that as players, when you're donning the green jersey, when you're donning your country's jersey, then you have to keep your country in your mind. तो फिर
Hmm.
आपके teammates के साथ अगर आपकी नहीं भी बनती होगी, तो भी you have to keep that all aside and you have to say कि I'm playing for Pakistan. That is what something off the field, off the ground, jitne bhi masle ho, you have to keep that off the ground. And we have seen that India versus Pakistan, these matlab, Pakistani players and Indian players, we have seen how friendly they are off the field,
Hmm.
right? We have seen legends like as uh, we have seen Shahid Afridi and Gautam Gambhir fighting on the field, but off the field they're very good friends. So
Hmm.
what happens on the field stays on the field. What happens off the field stays off the field. When you entering the ground, when you're performing for your country, you have to keep your country in your mind and you have to keep all the differences aside.
True. Now, coming to the actual performance of the Pakistan team in the World Cup, I mean, they lost to USA, they lost to India. Those two losses, I mean, especially the loss to USA, basically, that was the match जिसकी वजह से पाकिस्तान आगे सुपर एट में नहीं जा पाई. तो ये जो परफॉर्मेंस था यूएसए के अगेंस्ट, आपको पर्सनली कितना शॉकिंग लगा, नोरेश? एंड इसमें किसको आप जिम्मेदार ठहराएंगे? इफ यू कैन नेम सम इंडिविजुअल्स इन दैट पर्टिकुलर मैच हु whom you think were responsible for the defeat.
आई थिंक मैं इस पाकिस्तान की परफॉर्मेंस अगेंस्ट यूएसए को एक sentence to summarize करना चाहूंगी, and this was the sentence that Ramiz Raja used during his commentary in that match, and it was that sentence that I said, yeah, it perfectly summarized the Pakistan. So what he said was, by the way, he said that when if the car dropped that catch on the slip, it
Mm-hmm.
was I think the first wicket for that could have been the first wicket for Pakistan. So what he said was Pakistan are just waiting for things to happen.
Mm.
And this is what I think that we saw in the match against USA. Pakistan was just waiting for things to happen.
Mm.
By like we saw the lack of effort when it came to first of all, obviously we lost the toss, but that is no reason to just say that we lost a match. No, we lost the toss, and obviously it was a Texan pitch. It was not the kind of pitch where you cannot score runs. I would say the pitch in Texas, it was a batter friendly pitch as compared to New York. Batting it in New York is very difficult. Nassau County, it's very difficult. But the Grand Prairie Stadium, it was a batter friendly pitch. And even in that pitch, our batters couldn't perform up to the mark. They were just looking to score out of the park. And there
Mm.
was not even one batter that could have, I mean, Babar Azam did show some consistency and stuff in terms of batting and staying on the pitch in that match. He scored 44 out of 43 in that match against the USA. It was good, but I think uh, we lacked consistency, we lacked effort, we lacked intent, most of all. We became pressurized with a team that's an associate team, right? So
Mm.
what I think was it would have been better. I mean, USA, they won the toss, they chose to bowl, and
Mm.
Pakistan was batting first. I mean, yeah, I was expecting, I was really expecting Pakistan to win this toss and choose to bowl. I mean, Babar Azam did say that they would have also chosen to bowl first in that pitch, but I think uh, if I just break down Pakistan's performance, so in the first innings, I'd say we totally lacked our batting. We did not, and this has been, by the way, a problem for Pakistan over the decades. We do not utilize our power plays to the fullest. Be it when we're bowling, be it when we're batting, we do not utilize our power plays to the fullest. हम लोग power plays में वो score बना ही नहीं पाते कि जो चाहिए होता है, मतलब जिसमें बेसिकली आप कहते हो ना कि पावर प्ले को सही मायनों में यूटिलाइज करना चाहिए. वी डोंट डू दैट. मतलब
Mm.
हम नहीं करते, which I think we should. And most importantly, I have been very firm on this opinion throughout this World Cup. I kind of think that we need to change our openers, and Babar Azam need to come and bat one down. I've been, this is something that I've been thinking. I've been firm on for the whole throughout this whole T20 World Cup. Because see, if you remember, Pakistan had a really good combination of left-handed and right-handed openers, which is Amir Sohail and Imran Nazir. See,
Mhm.
so yeah, so that was a very good combination of openers. When you have a left-handed
No,
and a
you
right-handed,
sing Imran Nazir and who? Uh,
uh, Amir Sohail.
no, I think you're talking about Amir Sohail तो सईद अनवर के साथ था long time ago. You're talking about like
But
90s.
no, no, we had a lefty and righty combination. What I'm talking about is
Mhm.
we need to have a lefty and righty combination, and I think Mohammad Rizwan and Fakhar Zaman could have been very good potential options for this. Uh, uh, but this is just something that Pakistan need to look into, because when you're like when you have a good left-handed and right-handed combination in your opening partnership, so that really boosts up your uh, batting lineup. And by the way, just this is something I would like to add here. This is, by the way, something that I felt during India's matches too, because this is something that Rohit Sharma I think that you should also, because Kohli is not the man that you should make open with Rohit Sharma, because
Mhm.
this is something that I felt. Virat Kohli's performance, we haven't seen him really perform that good of an inning, but I know that guy will perform when it's his day, he'll perform really well. But I just think that Virat Kohli should come two or three down at the point that he used to come before this World Cup, because that is the point where he knows his job, he knows his groove. So
Mm.
we have seen that improving his batting number has really affected Kohli's performance. This is something, a comment that I wanted to make at this point, right? Apart from that, we have seen that our opening partnership hasn't been that consistent. They're not able to score that big of a partnership in this World Cup overall. And then Fakhar Zaman is the man you would bring in for power play, because we know how well he can hit. He does really good hard hitting. So Fakhar Zaman's role hasn't been properly utilized by the
So,
team.
Nourish,
And
या सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट नरेश, मैं आपको फकर जमान के बारे में पूछना चाहता हूँ दैट फकर जमान का क्या, व्हाट इज द रीजन, ये क्या एक वजह है कि पाकिस्तान थिंक थिंक टैंक या मैनेजमेंट इन दैट पर्टिकुलर स्क्वाड ने फकर जमान को नंबर 4 पे खिलाया? क्योंकि इधर तो हम इंडिया में बात करते कि यार एटलीस्ट नंबर 3 पे तो खिलाओ, बट उसको नंबर 3 पे,
Exactly.
4 पे खिलाया, जबकि व्हाट यू सेइंग इज वेरी राइट, ही शुड हैव बीन ओपनिंग। तो कहीं पे आप जो अप्रोच है पाकिस्तान टीम का, जो जो आई थिंक, जिसकी तनकीद आई थिंक आपके कौम में भी हमेशा होती रहती है, दैट एक पॉजिटिव अप्रोच नहीं है, पॉजिटिव अप्रोच द वे टू प्ले। सो आई
Exactly.
थिंक ये इनके थिंकिंग में भी लगता है कि एक बिकॉज इफ यू लुक एट द टॉप फोर, ओनली फकर जमान इज द पर्सन इन द टॉप फोर जो 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 एक मॉडर्न स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ T20 खेलने के लायक है। ही हैज दैट पोटेंशियल, ही हैज दैट एबिलिटी। अब उसको आप नंबर 4 पे लाओगे तो फिर कहाँ से पाकिस्तान को पावर प्ले में एक एक अच्छा स्टार्ट मिल पाएगा?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying है।
हम्म।
आप जो है आपके ओपनर्स जब अपनी विकेट्स लूज कर लेते हैं, उसके बाद इंस्टेड ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग इन उस्मान खान यू शुड हैव ब्रॉट फखर जमान। Because
हम्म।
we know, and this is something that Pakistan, this is the mistake that Pakistan made against India too. आप
हम्म।
फखर जमान को बहुत लेट लेके आए हो, और जब आप उसको जब फखर जमान की बारी आई बैटिंग करने की, तो ऑब्वियसली अब देखो अगेन मैं वही बात करूंगी, जैसे विराट कोहली को विराट कोहली डिडंट यूज टू कम एज एन ओपनर, ठीक है, और एंड वी ऑल नो कि वो कितना अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं when
हम्म।
he comes at that point. But now, ever since India ने उन्हें promote किया opener में, we have seen that that has not very well affected him,
Yeah.
Kohli, and that has affected his performance. So this is something that I think that Pakistan really look into, should really look into this batting lineup में हमें अपने openers की combination change करनी होगी. If we don't do it, then obviously the results are going to go like this.
But
Because आप रिजवान के साथ फकर को लाते, इट वुड हैव बीन अ ड्रीम कॉम्बिनेशन, एंड बाबर आजम वुड हैव कम वन डाउन, ओ माय गॉड, इट वुड हैव बीन हेवन फॉर पाकिस्तान। और फिर जो आपकी बैटिंग लाइन में स्टेबिलिटी आती, बिकॉज वी नीड अ पर्सन, एक ऐसा बंदा होना चाहिए जो एंकर करे इनिंग्स को, और एक ऐसा बंदा होना चाहिए जो हार्ड हिटिंग करे, एंड दैट इज व्हेन योर बैटिंग लाइनअप स्टेबलाइजेस। दिस इज
okay,
समथिंग दैट आई लाइक,
Krish, so
बैटिंग
I have,
लाइनअप।
yeah, so I have a question to you now. I know you are quite a big fan of Babar Azam, and rightly so. He has been a wonderful servant for Pakistan cricket in the last 8 years. But जो उसका एक तरीका है खेलने का, and the way he seems to be a very traditionally correct technical batsman, touch player है वो। और आजकल के जो मॉडर्न जमाने में T20 क्रिकेट है, इट्स स्लैम बैंग, एंड यू लुक एट इंग्लैंड, वेस्ट इंडीज, साउथ अफ्रीका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ये दीज आर द फोर बिग टीम्स आई वुड से। ऑल्दो वेस्ट इंडीज इस बार, आई मीन, दे हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू क्वालिफाई फॉर द सेमीफाइनल्स, एंड लास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स दे हैव नॉट बीन डूइंग वेल, बट स्टिल दे हैव सम रियली पावरफुल हिटर्स। और ये एक कॉन्वर्जेशन इंडिया में भी होता है अबाउट रोहित शर्मा एंड विराट कोहलीज प्लेस इन द T20 स्क्वाड।
एग्जैक्टली।
So, according to me, and I would like you to give an opinion on what I'm going to say, is that I feel players like Mohammad Rizwan or Babar Azam ko ab they should give way to younger players, because I think हमने देख लिया है वो क्या कर सकते हैं T20 में, and जो वो कर सकते हैं T20 में, वो काफी नहीं है to get Pakistan out of this, is what I feel. What do you have to say about, especially in the light of ये जो अभी वर्ल्ड कप हुआ है, the poor performance of Rizwan and, I mean, everyone else, but especially Rizwan and Azam, do you think that they deserve a place and should continue to be in the T20 team?
सी आई वुड से कि अगेन जैसे मैंने लास्ट, इफ यू रिमेम्बर लास्ट पॉडकास्ट में मैंने पॉइंट रेस किया था कि बाबर आजम इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर, ही इज लाइक अ वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर, बट what is lacking is that he does not perform for Pakistan in the mega events, and this is something that Kohli does for his team. Not comparing or anything, but I'm just saying कि
Hmm.
so this is something that we, our players need to think of कि परफॉर्मेंस, अगर बाबर आजम और रिजवान से एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं तो दे हैव टू परफॉर्म, because the team is dependent on that. And I also think that Pakistani team is more overly dependent on Babar to perform. The same way that England, we have seen in this World Cup that England has been dependent on Butler. We have
Hmm.
seen that during their batting lineup. I mean, if you take a good look at it, so the matches in which Butler did not perform, England did not win those. The
Hmm.
matches in which Butler performed, England win those. So they're
Hmm.
more or less dependent on Butler to perform for their country. And Similarly, Pakistan is more or less dependent on the Rizwan duo, Rizwan and Babar duo, to perform for their country. And I think that Babar and Rizwan need to, and they have to step up. And if Pakistan is have to win the mega events and stuff, and this is something that I've been thinking and I've been firm on throughout the World Cup. And this
So,
opinion of
so, so
mine.
you
And
th- you so you think that Babar Azam still has a place in the squad, in spite of the fact that his strike rate, and I'm talking not just about Azam but Rizwan as well, in spite of their strike rates being not up to the standards of T20 cricket, you still think that they have a role in the team?
I think yes, and with this, I think the captain, making Babar the captaincy has really affected Babar's performance. And I just think that Babar should step down from the captaincy, not because of we had a bad World Cup or anything, but because what we saw with Virat Kohli in 2021, when India were really not into a
Mhm.
place when Virat Kohli was the captain, we
Yeah.
all saw that. I mean, it was not such a good World Cup for India, the 2021 World Cup. But after the World Cup, Virat Kohli resigned because
Mhm.
it was affecting his performance. So I
Mhm.
think Babar should do the same because Babar is a batter, is excellent. He's wonderful, but I'm not that big of a fan of Babar, the captain.
Mhm. Uh,
Or yeah,
No, Noorish, coming to the India match, I mean, what the hell happened? Because Pakistan were chasing 120, and even although उनका run rate कभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं गया, but even then with about 4 or 5 overs to go, 6 overs to go, they were, I think, 81 for 3 or 4, and then that in fact they didn't even end up losing 10 wickets. उन्होंने I think सिर्फ 7 wicket lose किए. So जो उस मैच में जो पाकिस्तान की बैटिंग थी उसमें व्हाट डू यू मेक ऑफ इट, व्हाट वेंट रॉन्ग इन द बैटिंग इनिंग्स फॉर पाकिस्तान?
okay. I'd like to perfectly summarize the Pakistan versus India match in these sentences. See, before in the first innings, it was Pakistan versus India. But
Mhm,
after the first innings, it was Pakistan versus Pakistan.
mhm,
I'd say that. Because like during the first innings, and the trouble did not at all begin during our batting. Most people say it was our batting. Yes, we did choke very bad. We bottled up that match. We shouldn't have done that because it was in our hands. And I'll go as far as to say that we performed even worse in India's match than we performed in US's match. Because
mhm,
हमने जितना बुरा यूएसए के मैच में परफॉर्म किया था उससे ज्यादा बुरा हमने इंडिया के मैच में परफॉर्म किया था because everything was in our favor. The bowlers they did a great job. We were like हमने इंडिया की बैटिंग लाइनअप को 87 for 7 पे रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर दिया था. India were 87 for 7 and the
mhm,
score shouldn't even have gone to 119.
mhm,
जाना ही नहीं चाहिए था इतना स्कोर. Had
mhm,
it not been अब हमारी फील्डिंग was not up to the mark because हमने देखा कि ऋषभ पंत was dropped 5 times. 3 times in Mohammad Amir's over. He was dropped 5 times, Rishabh Pant, and he got so
yeah,
many chances. तो अब इतने चांसेस मिलेंगे तो बैटर तो फिर परफॉर्म करेंगे बट थैंकफुली फिर उनको फिर उसके बाद फौरन ही थोड़े टाइम बाद ही गॉट आउट बट द थिंग इज दैट 5 चांसेस ऋषभ पंत को मिले कैचेस ड्रॉप जो वो कैचेस ड्रॉप कैच कर सकते थे मतलब सीधा इट वाज दे वर नॉट डिफिकल्ट कैचेस
mhm,
थ्राइस ही वाज ड्रॉप्ड थ्राइस मोहम्मद आमिर के ओवर में फील्डिंग ब्लंडर्स हमने किया है 87 for 7 पे इंडिया थे एंड उनके बाद आपके टेल एंडर्स रह जाते हैं टेल एंडर्स को आप थोड़ी अच्छी बॉलिंग कराओगे यूर
mhm,
गॉन मतलब वो आप बाय द वे दिस इज द सेम मिस्टेक दैट हैपेंड अगेंस्ट साउथ अफ्रीका लास्ट ईयर इफ यू रिमेंबर कि
mhm,
जिसमें वो अंपायर कॉल का डिसीजन आ गया था हारिस रोड की बॉल थी
yeah,
दिस
yeah,
इज समथिंग दैट पाकिस्तान डिड लास्ट ईयर कि
mm,
टेल एंडर्स जो थे वो टेल एंडर्स की को आप आउट नहीं कर पाए तो उस वजह से आप आपका जीता हुआ मैच साउथ अफ्रीका आपसे ले गया और यही हुआ इंडिया के अगेंस्ट भी 87
but
for 7 था तीन आपके एंड के टेल एंडर्स हैं आप उन्हें नहीं आउट कर पाए एंड देन उसके बाद आपने ओवर थ्रोज मिसिंग और वो जो आई थिंक लास्ट के ओवर्स थे जिनमें ओवर थ्रोज बहुत ज्यादा हुई थी तो एक्स्ट्रा रन मिल गए तो 190 तक आपका टारगेट जाना ही नहीं चाहिए था आपको 110 तक उनको रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर देना चाहिए था
yeah, yeah. No,
देन
sorry, just to interrupt, just to correct you. Actually, they were 89 for three. India was 89 for three, or 89 for three, because I'm just having a look at the scorecard. और उस position से to get them to 119 all out, it was a big collapse for the Indian team. So it was just a correction. But then, Nourish, the point is that bowling तो बहुत अच्छी की पाकिस्तान ने. But then I want you to tell me about what happened in the batting. What because chasing 120, I think somewhere in the mind they what is the pressure that they took for even chasing 120?
प्रेशर अगेन, इट वाज अ रनर बॉल स्कोर, ठीक है,
Hmm.
इट वाज अ रनर बॉल स्कोर, आपको अननेसेसरी हिटिंग करनी ही नहीं थी।
Hmm.
आपको एक पूरी प्लान के साथ ग्राउंड में करना था कि वी हैव टू, दिस इज अ रनर बॉल चेस, हमें अननेसेसरी शॉट्स नहीं लगाने। अब भी पाकिस्तानी बैटर्स अक्षर पटेल, हार्दिक पांड्या और अर्शदीप सिंह और ऐसे, मतलब ऐसे बॉलर्स को आप जो है वो हिट करते हैं,
Hmm.
बुमराह को ब्लॉक करते हैं,
Hmm.
बुमराह की ओवर्स की सर्वाइव करते हैं, और बाकी प्लेयर्स की बॉल पे यू शुड, पाकिस्तानी बैटर शुड हैव वेटेड फॉर अ बैड बॉल टू हिट इट आउट ऑफ द पार्क। इंस्टेड व्हाट दे डिड वाज अननेसेसरी बॉल्स पे आपने रिस्क लिया। बुमराह की जिस बॉल पे मोहम्मद रिजवान आउट हुए हैं और
Hmm.
जो शॉट लगाते हुए आउट हुए हैं, आई वाज एक्सट्रीमली शॉक्ड, व्हाट इज दिस गाय ट्राइंग टू डू, दिस वाज नॉट द बॉल दैट यू शुड हैव ट्राइड टू हिट आउट ऑफ द पार्क। बुमराह की बॉल एक्सेसिव स्विंग आता है,
Hmm.
न्यूयॉर्क की पिच है, अब एक्सेसिव स्विंग आएगा। मैं तभी तो कह रही हूँ कि इट वाज पाकिस्तान वर्सेस पाकिस्तान,
Hmm.
सेकंड इनिंग्स। फिर सबसे बड़ी मिस्टेक आपने की, आपने ओपनर्स भेजा, ठीक है, रिजवान ने थोड़ी स्टेबिलिटी दिखाई। जो स्टार्ट के 10 ओवर्स तक था अगेंस्ट इंडिया, वी वर गुड, स्कोर फिर भी ठीक था, कि हम कह सकते थे कि अगर हम इसी तरीके से खेले तो हम 20 ओवर्स तक कर सकते हैं। देन आपने एक और ब्लंडर कर दिया, जब जब आपके जो स्टार्ट का एक विकेट गिरी, तो आपने फखर जमान की जगह उस्मान खान को भेज दिया।
Hmm.
फखर जमान का रोल पावर प्ले में बनता है, आप फखर जमान को पावर प्ले में भेजते, he could have- वो अच्छी हार्ड हिटिंग करता है, हमें हार्ड हिटिंग की जरूरत ही नहीं थी, हमें रनर बॉल चेस करना था। आप
Hmm.
सीधे सीधे रन लेते और ओकेजनली ओकेजनली आप मारते, बैट बॉल्स का वेट करते। और
Hmm.
अक्षर पटेल के ओवर्स को आप बहुत अच्छे से यूटिलाइज कर सकते थे टू हिट देम आउट ऑफ द पार्क।
Hmm.
हार्दिक पांड्या को यूटिलाइज कर सकते थे। ऑल्सो वन मोर थिंग आई लाइक टू पॉइंट आउट हियर, पाकिस्तान की एक वीकनेस है जो काफी टाइम से हम देख रहे हैं कि आ रही है, विच इज के बैक ऑफ द लेंथ बॉल्स और शॉर्ट पिच बॉल्स पाकिस्तानी नहीं खेल पाते सही से, पाकिस्तानी बैटर्स वी हैव सीन, एंड दिस इज समथिंग दैट हार्दिक पांड्या टुक एडवांटेज ऑफ।
Hmm.
वी सॉ कि उन्होंने जो विकेट्स लिए, मोस्ट ऑफ देम वर बैक ऑफ द लेंथ बॉल्स एंड शॉर्ट पिच बॉल्स, जिसमें कैच हुआ है सीधा। Imad Wasim, I was actually disappointed on Imad Wasim's performance. I mean, I'm not saying the whole team did not perform to the mark, but they could have performed. We saw how well Naseem Shah came in, and Naseem Shah hit 2 fours straight away. So this proves that it was not difficult to hit fours and sixes. Naseem
Hmm.
Shah, a tail ender, a bowler can come and hit fours, then why couldn't have proper batters? I mean, I was absolutely in awe and shock as to what this team was doing. Because इफ्तिकार, then another mistake came. आपने पहले तो फखर जमान को नहीं भेजा, आपने उस्मान खान को भेज दिया। फखर जमान के रोल ही पावर प्ले में आप उनको भेजते, वो शायद थोड़ा स्टेबलाइज करते। देन आप बुमराह की बॉल को आप हिट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, यार बुमराह की बॉल स्टॉप करनी चाहिए। वी नो कि ही इज लाइक अ वर्ल्ड क्लास बॉलर, वी ऑल नो हाउ गुड ऑफ अ बॉलर ही इज। आप
Hmm.
उनको हिट करना अटेम्प्ट कर ही नहीं सकते, आप उनको या तो ब्लॉक करते या आप उन्हें सिंगल्स और डबल्स के लिए हिट करते। आप आउट ऑफ द पार्क हिट करने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहे हो, जैसे जो रिजवान ने मिस्टेक की, एक बात। दूसरी बात, हमने बस ऐसे लग रहा था कि पाकिस्तानी बैटर्स आए हैं और बस उनको उनके दिमाग में ये कि हमने मारना है। क्यों
Hmm.
मारना है, आप स्टेबल होके खेलो। स्कोर
Hmm.
इतना ज्यादा नहीं था,
Um,
स्कोर था ही नहीं इतना ज्यादा, आप आराम से खेल सकते थे। देन सेकेंडली दूसरी गलती ये हुई कि आपकी बैक टू बैक विकेट्स गिरी हैं, विकेट्स इफ्तिखार अहमद। और फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वाज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड इन द फैक्ट, फुल टॉस पे कौन विकेट देता है? आई मीन फुल टॉस आर मेंट टू बी हिट आउट ऑफ द पार्क। 3 फुल टॉसेस मिली थी इफ्तिखार एंड इमाद को, एंड
yeah.
2 फुल टॉसेस वर वेस्टेड while the last full toss was hit away and it was caught, right? So
Yeah.
these are blunders. These are not mistakes. These are blunders. I mean, again, itni full we both saw in the match against USA that 3 balls पे 12 runs defend करने थे, and हारिस स्टोक ने last over में 3 full tosses दे दी थी, and Aaron Jones took full advantage of that. So
Yeah.
this is, you have to wait for a bad ball to hit out of the park. You cannot just simply hit every ball out of the park. I mean, I understand that it was Nassau County. The pitch is not very a beast, and even the odds were in our favor. We won the toss. हालांकि इस इंडिया वाले मैच से पहले एक कंटिन्यूस स्ट्रीक चलती आ रही थी कि बाबर एज ए कैप्टन काफी सारे जो है वो टॉस ही वाज लूजिंग, बट
Hmm.
अगेंस्ट इंडिया it was that against India, that streak was also broken. Babar ने टॉस जीत लिया था, and अब हर चीज was going in our favor. Then
Hmm.
apart from that, जो एक और गलती की जिसमें हम आई थिंक कि हम इसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते थे। इफ्तिखार आउट हुआ, आमिर आउट हुआ। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सॉरी, नॉट आमिर, इमाद। इफ्तिखार एंड इमाद। इमाद, मुझे इतना डिसअपॉइंटिंग उस वक्त लगा कि इमाद ने जो है वो अक्षर पटेल का ओवर ही कुड हैव यूटिलाइज्ड। ही लिटरली जस्ट, मतलब उसका पूरा ओवर जाया कर दिया
Yeah.
अक्षर पटेल का। ही कुड हैव एक्चुअली यूटिलाइज्ड दैट। अब वो इंटेंट ही नहीं नजर आ रहा था। एंड यू नो दैट रिमाइंडेड मी ऑफ दोस 200 plus that Maxwell scored against Afghanistan. He was
Mm.
also injured. He also had a fresh injury. But the uh, the intent was there. Like the dedication, the intent was there. And he was like, I have to do it for my country. And then afterwards, obviously, when Iftikhar or Imad, they were out and stuff, तो फिर उसके बाद शाहिन अफरीदी को भेज रहे हो, आप उसकी जगह नसीम शाह को भेजते हैं। वी
Mm.
नो हाउ वेल ही हैज बीन ऐसी सिचुएशंस में आके नसीम शाह वर्क्स वेल। और वी सॉ कि जब नसीम आया तो उसने दो चौके लगा दिए थे स्ट्रेट अवे। और उस टाइम पे लगाए थे जब पाकिस्तान के किसी अच्छे प्रॉपर बैटर नहीं चल पाया था। देन उसके बाद we saw there were emotional scenes and Naseem Shah crying and all. Obviously, he was like representing every Pakistani at that point. Because
Yeah.
we were in shock. How could we lose that? I was still in shock for another 2 days. How could we have lost that? I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I think yeah, that was quite a surprising game because मैंने बीच में मैच बंद कर दिया था when टीवी बंद कर दिया था जब they were like around 60 for 3 and cruising. But then, yeah, it's one of the most miraculous wins for India in T20 cricket. Noorish, coming to the end of this video now, I would have loved to talk about the next two games which Pakistan won because although uska tournament में कुछ ज़्यादा फायदा नहीं हुआ उनको, but if you're looking at the way, especially against Ireland, उस match में chasing only about 100 odd runs, they lost 7 wickets, and
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
and so, I mean, that just showed basically how the tournament went for Pakistan. It was all shambles at the end, especially in batting. Bowling में तो उन्होंने काफी अच्छा किया. Now, looking ahead, Noresh, and this is my last question to you, that when you talk about going ahead and preparing, now we have the Champions Trophy coming up in 2025, and then the T20 World Cup. तो क्या लगता है आपको पाकिस्तान को क्या डायरेक्शन लेना चाहिए to their white ball teams going ahead?
Again, I would say Pakistan needs to move towards a more aggressive approach rather than a defensive approach. Because
Hmm.
this is something that we have seen has been lacking. And unless we do not learn from our mistakes, I'm afraid that these results are going to follow. हमने
Hmm.
देखा है कि काफी अरसे से पाकिस्तान का मिडिल ऑर्डर कोलैप्स चल रहा है, काफी अरसे से।
Hmm.
एंड दिस इज नॉट बीन समथिंग दैट्स न्यू, एंड वी हैव सीन दैट मिडिल ऑर्डर कोलैप्स इस वक्त भी आ रहा है। वी हैव
Hmm.
सीन कि हम प्रॉपर्ली यूटिलाइज नहीं करते, और इस दफा भी हमने वही किया। वी हैव सीन दैट वी डोंट मेक गुड डिसीजंस व्हेन इट कम्स टू प्रेशर सिचुएशन। अब मैं ये बात उस वक्त करना चाह रही थी, बट आई मिस दैट पॉइंट। अगेंस्ट द यूएसए वी सॉ के देयर वर मोमेंट्स के आई वाज लाइक, how could you not make that decision? One
Hmm.
of them was कि 3 balls पे 12 runs defend करने हैं against an associate team, a team that's been playing for मतलब for the first time the T20 World Cup for the USA. 3 balls पे 12 runs defend करें, आप उसको 3 full tosses दे रहे हो एरन जोन्स को।
Hmm.
And that was one blunder. Then super over में when you have made the decision of sending Fakar and Iftikhar, and you know that the bowler who's gonna bowl from the USA, the super over against Pakistan, you also know that that bowler is a lefty. So you should have sent Fakar to face the super over, but you're sending Iftikhar to face the super over. Then Mohammad Amir, I think Mohammad Amir was a good choice for the super. Also, this is not something that most people agree with, but I personally think that Mohammad Amir was a good choice for that super over. But again, उन्होंने काफी सारी white balls थी, line और length maintain नहीं हुई।
Hmm.
Uh, so this is something that we need to understand. Selection की terms में हम लोग को selection में grassroots level से बहुत जो है working की जरूरत है। We need to select the right people who would we know के टैलेंट को आगे आने देना चाहिए। अब जैसे छोटी सी एग्जांपल है, अबरार अहमद was selected for Pakistani team this World Cup, but he was not given a single match to play. We
Hmm.
could have used him against Canada. We could have used him against USA as well. Because who knows, he's actually really good with the ball, with the spin.
Hmm.
But we saw that that decision was not made. And so there's a lot that needs to work on. And while we're on the topic, I also think that Babar, Rizwan, and Shadab, and uh, Babar, Rizwan, Shadab, and some other players, Shaheen, these are the players that need to be rested for some for some time, because I honestly believe they need some rest. And we have also seen that Shaheen hasn't been that good ever since 2021 World Cup, and most importantly after that injury against England in final of 2022 World Cup. So
Agree.
I think they need rest. We need to rest them for a while before making them resume cricket and stuff. So
Hmm.
a lot needs to change for Pakistan if we are to go into the Champions Trophy 2025 with good intent. And as I would also like to point one thing out here. जहाँ हम इतनी पाकिस्तान की वो कर रहे हैं, because as an analyst you need to look at all aspects of Pakistan. ना आपको बुरे aspects भी देखना है, आपको अच्छे aspects भी देखने हैं. Yes, we were not up to the mark with our batting. Yes, we were not really good with that, with fielding and stuff. But what we need to मतलब जो अच्छे points है उनको भी तो देखना चाहिए ना. We were really good with the ball.
Hmm.
बॉलिंग हमारी अच्छी थी. वी सॉ के हमारे पेसर्स ने, हमारे बॉलर्स ने कितनी अच्छी इस दफा इस वर्ल्ड कप में बॉलिंग कराई. बट अगेन
Yeah.
वी सॉ के आप जितना कम भी रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर दो, वी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड इंडिया टू देयर लोएस्ट एवर टोटल इन द वर्ल्ड कप्स. इन द वर्ल्ड कप्स आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. वी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड देम इंडिया टू देयर लोएस्ट एवर टोटल. अब हम उस मैच में बैटर्स का काम था सिर्फ आके लिटरली हर बॉल पर अगर एक रन भी बनाते, 6 या 7 की आई थिंक
Yeah.
एवरेज थी
Yeah. Yeah.
पर ओवर की. तो उसको यूटिलाइज
Yeah, I think I lost you over there somewhere for a few seconds, Nourish, but I think you were talking about the good aspect of the Pakistan team, which was obviously their bowling, which is something that has always been their stronger suit. But yes, we had to talk about the Pakistan performance in terms of the batting, because I think it was the batting that let them down this whole World Cup. So, but yeah,
my
yeah.
feeling to.
Yeah, yeah. So I think going ahead, let's hope that there is some stability in the management and especially the players, because I think management में stability हो ये now, but if you look at the players, they have been consistent in terms of selection at least. यही 5 6 7 8 जो core
Hmm.
players आपने जो कहा है, जो जिन जिन players को rest की जरूरत है, I think उसमें हम 3 4 और नाम ऐड करें तो these are like about 7 to 8 players who have been playing for Pakistan since the last, I think, 4 to 5 years or maybe even more. So I think it's at least in terms of consistency of selection of a core group of players. तो इसमें हम सवाल नहीं उठा सकते, and that is why it is important for the players to give back the faith that the selectors have chosen. Have put on them. Although selectors भी बहुत बदले हैं in over the course of these many years, but yeah, I think a lot of things to change, and just I just hope, as a fan of cricket, because Pakistan has so much to offer in terms of world cricket, and as a fan of cricket, love Pakistan also to come back to its glory days, or at least show some signs. And जो उनके glory days थे वो I think even a few years ago, they 2021 or 2022 में जो इन्होंने performance किया है, even if they come back to that level, I think that will be a good sign in terms of starting up. But thank you so much.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Nourish, for your valuable time. बहुत एक insight जो मिलता है from you as a cricket fan and analyst. It's wonderful. So thank you so much, and I hope to have you once again on my show.
Sure, sure. Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you to my audience. I hope you've had a wonderful time listening to Noorish Khan. See you till the next episode of the SNS Cricket Diaries. Bye.